Good evening, gardeners. It's Wednesday, June 30th, and today I'm going to show you all the easiest, cheapest, fastest, most environmentally friendly, and most effective way to prevent pest damage on all types of fruits and vegetables in your garden from nearly every single kind of pest. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell to receive new video notifications, and check out our Amazon storefront and spread shop in the video description for a list of the gardening products I use and awesome custom designed apparel and other gear. Your support is greatly appreciated. Having a garden is one of the most rewarding things you can do, and on top of the amazing rewards that it gives you for being a successful gardener, it's also delicious. The food in your garden is no comparison to what you get in the grocery store. Everything tastes so much better. The problem is, we aren't the only things on this planet that want to eat what's inside of our garden. Everything else wants a piece of what we're growing as well. Here where I live on the southeastern coast of North Carolina, we have a tremendous problem with insects. And when you have insect problems, you have to manage them, because if I don't manage my insect problems, they will eat everything in my garden long before I get a chance. When dealing with insect problems in your garden, the most common thing that people do is develop a pesticide spraying routine to try and reduce the insect population. But there are some caveats to this method. Number one, it can be quite expensive. Number two, it can be quite time consuming. Number three, the materials can be hard to get. It's not easy to get good quality, low toxicity pesticide. Number four, you may wind up killing a lot of the good bugs along with the bad, like dragonflies and ladybugs. And number five, some people just don't want to spray pesticides on their foods. Even if you wind up reducing the insect population through these methods, it doesn't protect you against larger pests. What if you have problems like squirrels or birds or mice and they're eating your fruits? Insect pesticides won't do anything against them. So what is there to do? Well, what if I told you that there is one thing that you could do to protect your fruits from all of those pests that is very effective, and you won't have to spray one drop of a pesticide? And the solution could not be more simple. All you have to do is enclose the fruits within a physical barrier so the pests cannot get to them. And by that, I don't mean going out and buying hundreds or thousands of square feet of agricultural fabric and draping tarps and insect netting all over the place. No, it is far simpler than that. All you have to do is cover the individual fruits with an organza bag. Before I get too far into this video, I want to let you know that if you're interested in purchasing these organza bags, you can find the exact ones that I use linked down in the video description in my Amazon storefront link. So simply click on the Amazon storefront link and you will find them all there. Now, when it comes to sizes, I've found that the best sizes for figs is about 3.5 inches by 5 inches. The bare minimum is 3 inch by 4 inch, but I think the 3.5 by 5 inch give them a little bit more play, and you're less likely to accidentally knock the fig off in the process. For your large tomatoes, I'm using a 6 inch by 9 inch organza bag, and these can get very large. They can be up to 12 inches long, so you can even cover things like cucumbers and zucchini in the much larger organza bag. Again, I have all the different sizes and colors linked down in my Amazon storefront in the video description. So what is an organza bag? An organza bag is a mesh bag with a drawstring, and they're commonly used at weddings. A lot of times they fill these up with rice when you throw the rice at the bride and groom at the end of the wedding. And like I said, they have a little drawstring over them, so you simply slip them over the fruit, and then you pull the drawstring shut, and then you tie it up, and that creates a protective barrier around the fruit. It does not get any easier than this, and it does not get any cheaper than this. These are pennies a piece. You will spend only a few dollars per 100, and they are completely reusable and tend to last several years. If you've been following my channel for a while, you may be thinking, hey, I've covered this subject in the past. And that's true, but we've had a lot of growth for the channel since then, which I'm very, very thankful for, and I want to turn everybody else on to this wonderful way of protecting your fruits. Now, this method of protecting your fruits is very popular with people that grow figs, because these tend to be perfectly sized for protecting figs, and figs tend to get attacked by little tiny sour flies called spotted wing Drosophila. When it comes to organza bags, there is a lot of debate as to what color you should buy, and I'll give you my thoughts on this. I think the best color that you should buy when it comes to organza bags is green. And the reason why is there's a lot of anecdotal evidence out there that the green bags also protect against bird damage. It's been well noted that green figs are less likely to be attacked by birds than purple figs, black figs, brown figs, and other figs that turn colors when they ripen. The green figs stay about the same color when they're ripe as they are when they're unripe, and they tend to avoid the bird damage. So the thought is that the green bags will actually camouflage your ripe fruit. It will blend them in with the leaves, and they'll be less likely to be pecked at by a bird. This is also shown to be effective with tomatoes as well, because tomatoes tend not to take bird damage when they're green, but once they start turning pink or red, they tend to be pecked by birds. So I strongly recommend, if you're going to buy organza bags, you look for some type of green color. Now I want to show you how incredibly easy it is to protect your fruits with these organza bags. I'm going to use figs as my example because I have a ton of them that are starting to get ready to turn ripe, but you can use these on many other types of fruits, not just figs. So all you have to do is just slip the organza bag over the fruit all the way down to the bottom of the stem and pull it tightly around the stem. Just be careful that you don't pull so tightly that you snap it off, and then you just take the back and you tie it so it won't go anywhere. And this will keep out ants, this will keep out flies, this will keep out larger pests, this may deter squirrels and mice. It is possible that a squirrel or a mouse could eat through the bag, or birds could peck through. However, it is a deterrent and it will help. If you have larger pests like deer, I can't say that this will be helpful against deer, but for smaller pests and insects, they are very effective. And even if they don't totally stop the damage, it will limit the damage to an extent, and it will help your cause. Now, the one thing I do want to mention is when you do place these organza bags on your fruit, make sure that the fruit is not completely ripe. Once these figs start to ripen and begin to droop, if you put your organza bags around the stem, it tends to snap the fruit off. So you want to wait until your fruit is large enough that you can fit the bag around it. You don't want to put it on little tiny baby fruits. However, you want to make sure that the fruit is still unripe and it's holding on the tree very firmly. That way you don't accidentally knock the fruits off. And the great thing about this method is how economical it is. Fruits don't ripen at the same time on your fruit trees, so there's no reason to cover every single fruit with an organza bag. These figs down at the bottom of this tree are much larger, and they are already in the swelling phase. They are going to ripen weeks ahead of the figs that are up here. So I really only need to bag the handful of these lower figs that are in the swelling process, and then when I harvest them, I'll simply be able to take the bags off and then move them up on the smaller figs that are up the tree. So I can keep reusing these, and I don't have to go out and buy a ton of bags to keep bagging up every single individual fruit. For those of us that grow tomatoes, we know that pests love tomatoes possibly more than any other fruit in our garden. And again, we can use organza bags to protect our tomatoes. Simply buy bigger ones, cover the tomatoes up, and then pull the drawstring, and that will protect them from any kind of insect damage. It's especially effective against things like stink bugs and leaf-footed bugs. These are also very effective against caterpillars and hornworms. So if you have an issue with caterpillars getting your tomatoes, these are very effective barriers. I find that it's most effective to bag up the tomatoes when they're still green or when they're just starting to turn. That way they don't take any pest damage at all. A lot of times once they already start to turn and they start taking on a darker color and ripening, they will take some pest damage pretty quickly. So the earlier you can bag them up with tomatoes, the better. Now, if you're like me and most of your pests are insects, I recommend a dual approach to controlling pest damage. The first thing that you want to do is you want to use the organic and natural-based pesticides with active ingredients that dissipate quickly to control the general population of insects in your garden. Then you cover the fruits with the organza bags. That way, whatever insects remain don't damage your fruits. And remember, you get the added benefit of being a deterrent to any kind of birds or small mammals that may want to peck or bite at your fruits. It's not guaranteed to stop all damage, but it is a deterrent and it will help. By simply using these organza bags, you can go a long way into ensuring that you are the one that is harvesting most of the fruits in your garden and not something else. So everybody, I sure hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe for future updates and more videos like these. If you're curious about any of the other products that I use in my garden, they are all linked in my Amazon storefront down in the video description. If you're interested in purchasing any kind of channel related merchandise, check out my spread shop, also in the video description. Thank you again so much for watching, and I hope to see all of you again on the next video.
Dale's getting in the ocean. He's getting in the ocean like a big boy. It's such a beautiful day. Come on, buddy. Dale, can you come a little further? Oh, you're doing so good. You're doing such a good job. This is amazing. This is amazing. Dale's getting in the ocean like a big boy. This is major progress. This is major progress. Dale. Very good, buddy. Good job.